It's going on week 8, and memories of you on my mind constantly replay. You probably still got the Center Dior on your PJs, and I still got the Center Duce from last night's pregame. I'm still trying to refrain from sending faulty messages claiming I never said it, or sending risky texts just to see the time that you read it. No matter how I reach out, I know you'll make me regret it or make me feel so pathetic. Oh, fucking forget it. You gotta know the resentment was never in my intentions. All the designer clothing was just to get your attention. You repost on your IG, I'm your subliminal mention, keeping us divided, but that was never part of division. Nah, I know apologies won't take the pain away. I probably said some things that I can't take away, but that was then and I don't feel the same today. People make mistakes, cause you've been acting numb and I take part. You get caught up, now you begging me and I play hard. But let's flip the script and I can't start, cause you break promises and I break heart.
Yeah, you said you cared and you fight for me. You put this love on your life and you ain't dead, and that don't sit right with me. Cussing me out, here you go again swearing. Taylor Jenner as a father, all I asked was for you to be transparent. I guess that was too much to be asking, robbing me of my heart. You cold as ice cream, it was too much to be basking. And all the past moments, we shared our last moments with bottle anger. Look at us, this can't be the real you, it's a doppelganger. I had my portions of wrongdoing, I can't deny, and did a lot of things at the start, so on me you can't rely. You tearing up our home, throwing pictures and slanging pots and pans. I blame you, you blame me, bringing it from the top again. Now who gon' clean this living room? I pray it ain't for one of us. Hey, let's just get his house arrest like ankle monitors. At the end of the day, we'll be right back chilling, man, until I flip your switch, and then it's all coming back around like a ceiling fan. I'm rolling out.
I know apologies won't take the pain away. I probably said some things that I can't take away, but that was then and I don't feel the same today. People make mistakes, cause you've been acting numb and I take part. You get caught up, now you begging me and I play hard. But let's flip the script and I can't start, cause you break promises and I break heart.
Show you right.
Let me start off popping this shit like toilet water. I'm hotter than boiling water. A bitch who don't suck no dick, me and her won't mix. Just like oil and water. I'm the handsomest nigga you know. Downright fanciest nigga you know. They bless the king, think I said a screen. How I'm picking this hoe.
Right
baby,
on.
Hey, the hoe that griping now. That hurt my heart and make me all type of sad. Instead of you killing my mood, dismiss yourself with your low down trifling ass. You don't need no meal, I'ma snack my baby and shit you can eat on me. Look, all my hoes go with me and I'm single, but bitch don't cheat on me. Bitch said she would die for me, well I wanna see, and if she ain't dead, then leave her. If a bitch wanna go, I'ma open the door, cause chivalry ain't dead neither. It's the Mac and the Pro, still don't believe in smacking the hoe. I'm more concerned with you being cool with me, shove a dick into the back of your throat. Baby, in favor on the hoe tonight, give you what I know you like. Talk this shit, they won't forget, say show you right, show you right. Pimp by Mac, I know you right. Spare no hoe, I'm cold as ice. Long you make him want it, I say show you right, show you right.
Show you right, baby. There's the mic and the note for you, baby. Can you dig it, baby?
Baby, down at the Mac, they have to hate it. This shit just a part of my dapper nature. Lately, I just been feeling myself, I'm masturbating. Razor blade come out lightning fast. I slash his faces, I don't like his ass. My pull-up game is like a Huggies pimp, but this shit can get bumpy, diaper rash. I like the flash, with me is where you find your bitches. Kick back vibing with them. Ho, ask me what I got lined up next. My sideburns, bitch, and I mind your business. Nosy ass, I sip from a chalice of golden glass. I'm a hell of a catch to a bitch, make a sweat when I'm wrong next to a bitch. Took the wrench off, oh, I'm undressing this bitch, I do it. Baby, on the hoe tonight, give you what I know you like. Know this shit they won't forget, say show you right, show you right. You by Mac, I know you right. Spare no hoe, I'm cold as ice. Long you make him want it, I say show you right, show you right.
Show you right, baby. The manhood never ceases, baby. And always increases, baby. Show you right. Show you right. Show you right, baby. Show you right. Black velvet.
Well, goddamn, baby, why was you rushing me? I just told you I was over there talking to Fred. Shit.
I'm sorry, Daddy, but you know, we've been out here all day and my feet hurt and we still gotta be out here all night.
No, baby, you're always in a fucking hurry. You need to learn how to slow down. You let me handle the business, baby. You start thinking you're smoother than me. You think you're smoother than me?
No, Daddy, I don't think I'm smoother than you.
I didn't think so. I didn't motherfucking think so. Yeah. You ever felt velvet on a pimp with a smooth aura? My mood sorta chlorine, baby. I'm cleaner than pool water. No strings attached, my groove cordless. I'm still sick with this shit. I'm food poisoning and managed to put the Mac on no dude daughter. You ever met a nigga who was slicker than Vaseline on a bowling ball? A nigga who don't say much, but he know it all. That's me, baby. I wouldn't buy a hoe a Jolly Rancher. My kind of standards, they far exceed them bitches who be fine, like some parking fees. She drive her face up to my dick and park her knees on the carpet until my cardiac get goosebumps. Cause the way she get fellatio, my heart will freeze. This bitch just stopped my major arteries gargling, trying to send me to the dearly departed. Please, you call, but you ain't never seen a nigga smoother than warm butter on light bread and have a bitch working the night shift till she lightheaded. I'm a certified womb groomer. My dick can send a bitch to the tomb sooner than the nighttime could have the moon blooming. I'm a bad man, and time is soon to tell. I don't take no hoe out to Bloomingdale's, and I don't move for much, but vagina is something that I zoom to sell. I tell them it's buy and sell to the clientele that they bringing in, and they breaking dividends. So when you clean your coochie, groom it well, and try your best to trick a nigga out of every penny in his bank account. Take a stab at it, baby girl, shake it out. Listen, you ain't never met a nigga who could tell mashed potatoes is all gravy. An infant with leukemia, we bow, baby. You enter into this pimping, you in good hands until we all stay in the insured fact that you have it all, lady. This shit ain't what you call basic line. Military boot camp. I'm twice the man your last nigga was. I'm a male 2 times, so I need 2 stamps. Fuck on this wife till that pussy got a few cramps. And I know I said I love it wet, but this shit too damn. Damn, baby. My bitches got the nicest pussy. You want a slice, then you pay the price, cause pussy ain't that easy to come by when it's good and wet. You should invest. And if you don't believe, just ask me, should I could attest that pussy put me straight to sleep. But I couldn't rest cause I needed more. But I don't need the hoe. I unbutton a pussy and keep it with me so they don't get no ideas when I'm not around. You sneaky bitches, they start thinking they slick as me. And bitch, you could be on a slip and slide with cooking on, but you still wouldn't get this pimpin'. This shit is upper echelon. I transform bitches into a Decepticon. Now she Megatron when I hit her with this all spark. Until we all start to see that this shit is immaculate, baby. 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 Can you dig what I'm saying, baby?
I can dig it, Daddy.
Nah, baby, I mean, can you really fucking dig it?
I can dig it, Daddy.
Alright. Cause when I'm out politicking, I don't need you doing a lot of tripping.
I love it when you take charge, Daddy. I'm sorry I rushed you.
Lay back for me, baby. Let's crank this motherfucker up and get on out of here.
Okay, Daddy.
You are now
That's right, baby.
KWEM Radio. We are about to get into the song
Hey, turn this shit up
sounds
for
of
me, baby. I like this
Kimmy
station.
Casanova.
Turn this shit up.
I'll turn it up.
Turn it up.
KWEM Radio.
That's right, baby.
Yes, indeed. Back at it. One piece I actually caught from that song where, he said, don't be rushing me into things. That's the first thing, what you really have to keep in mind. When I speak of, this, you got to really move at your own pace. I don't rush anything. I don't allow things to rush me. I don't allow things to put me into a crisis. When you think of the game of chess and the pieces on the board, a king, doesn't move in haste. A king's move is, it's well calculated, it's well planned, it's well informed. In order, for it to be, well informed, well calculated. It has to be well informed. Part of being well informed is, knowing what you don't know and also knowing what you possibly don't know. That's what really the ism is. It's in one aspect, it's metaphysical, and in another aspect is metaphysical. That's why I say it's a spiraling effect, especially when you think about, game. That's what these people would like to say. The acronym of that is, growing, ambitiously, making evolution, making things evolve. What I mean by it is that you're bringing things, to life, or you're bringing things back to life. You're speaking into the dead parts, into someone or something. In all my travels, everything connected together. Those on, both sides of the coin always directed me to, the book that gives you principle. What separates a man from other men is principles. His principles is based on what he believes, what he stands on, what is, unmovable. That means if I say something or do something, that it is, as I am, that I am, it's not going to come back void. See, when you speak of, this thing, you have to understand that there's an existing world, beyond that. Like, I know you've heard that saying that, everything is, 6 degrees separation. That's part of the spiraling effect, as well as the butterfly effect. It's all circular motion. It's all within the 360. It's all within the 120, knowledge, wisdom, understanding. From doing all of my studies with that, and observations, and practices, it all just really just came together. It was a way for me to, foresee the unforeseen. There are things that I couldn't physically touch, or possibly, mentally see. What's going on by you? But I knew it was there. So it was a matter of, bringing that into fruition. My family, being, from the islands, we understood, spirituality. We understood the ancestry behind things. When you look at certain books, it gives you bits and pieces of things, right? But not the thing in entirety, and it's an entire, pictorial idea. It's more than manifestation. It's really being, see, what manifests things is your conscious. Your spirit does one thing, but your conscious does another thing. So when you're consciously aware, you're actually in control. That means I'm in control of the narrative. I'm in control of the prospective outcome. A lot of people fail to realize that. Because such as, God is, as I am, as below, so is above. When you look at the universe and how it's made up, right? You know, all the particles, all the pieces, all the things, right? All that's really in us. People were basically tricked into, you know, different things. You know, for the most part, I've always, you know, had, you know, an idea of this, but not so much, you know, a working knowledge. And that's the thing, you know, being younger, I was around, you know, a lot of, you know, you know, older, reputable men, um, you know, and I was given that privilege, you know, just based on, you know, what my mother had said to me. You know, you can listen in on things, but just learn to shut the fuck up. You know, you can have your ear to things, just don't be nosy. Listen and watch, and learn how to interpret, learn how to comprehend. Now, when you look at the miscommunication between people, is based on what? Arrogance and ignorance. You know, what I'm doing arrogantly, um, you're going to react to it with your ignorance. When there's no misunderstanding, and then, you know what I mean, then there's a misunderstanding. Apologize. So, in just, you know, in things, people, places in life, you know, I've learned to pace myself. I learned to not react emotionally, even though things cause you, you know, to be emotional about it. It's not to react emotionally, you know, because when you react emotionally, that means it's not in you. You know, this thing that I'm talking about. See, it's, you know, in your best interest when you hear something, you know, to calm the waters within you, whereas you can adhere to it. You know, 85% of the game, or what they talk about, the ism, is really listening and then responding. Someone can present a crisis to me, although I want to react that way, I choose not to act that way. I think, pull myself back in, and listen so I understand, you know. You know, Erica Badu had that song that was really powerful, or the bars are really powerful. You know, I was born underwater. That means I was born, you know, under my conscious state. When you're reborn, it's somebody, you got to be born again. When you're reborn, you're born in your conscious state, right? With what? Knowledge, wisdom, understanding. They've been giving you the codes. You know, it just didn't, you know, you just didn't get the signal. You know, another thing that really, you know, stands out. So when you look at things, like you look at the book, right? The Bible is a really amazing book if you can interpret it the right way. You know, if you look at it as a scholar, you know, you're going to see a lot of things, you know, manifest in your life. You're going to see a lot of jewels manifest. But if you look at it as a, you know, as a foolish child, then you're going to be lost, essentially. Because when you look at it, when you look at the characters, you look at the typologies of the characters, right? You got to look at, you know, their presence as well as their principles. It's one thing to look at the principles of Jesus versus you looking at the presence of Jesus. It's one thing to look at the presence of Abraham versus looking at the principles of Abraham. And when you read these, you know, these verses, If you look at particular scriptures and things, especially in the beginning, when you look at Adam and Eve and the serpent, is it really people, or is it just your, left and right state of conscious, as well as your pineal gland? Didn't it say in scripture that you said ye are of God? You have little gods, not the big God, but your little God. He says, be holy because I am holy. The ism is holy. The game is holy. In light of people, ruining its traditions. And then when you look at that artwork of the dollar bill, right? When you look at a dollar bill, you see it, in one instance, you see it as the eagle, the bag is protecting the arrows. My brother told me that, a man essentially is a two-faced coin, is a side that protects what is his and what he loves. And then, there's the face that, is going to greet and meet and shake hands and be cordial. But when you look at a dollar bill, as you see, like, it comes into the alien, it's a little bit further. It's like what you pay versus what it costs you. Now, with this ism or this game, it's going to cost you. What you pay for it, it's entirely different from what it's going to cost you. That's different, for each person. But you know what you signed up for once you signed on. You got to stick to code and stick to principle. You have to understand inside every principle, you should basically see your own light, as well as, those that are around you. They should, be reflecting that light. And that was a piece I did a long time ago about the kingdom of God. It says, seek ye the kingdom of God, and all these things shall be added unto you. Now, if these things aren't really added unto you, that means you really weren't seeking. If, these things aren't reflecting that light that's in you, or how you carry yourself, then you're not seeking it. Someone posed a question to me a long time ago. Can you just get, women, use women as an example, but just say things, just offer your energy? Absolutely. I generate in my life what I want in my life, good, bad, or in between, based on my energy. And the reason for that is because I'm consciously aware of what I'm doing. I'm not ignorant of my devices, light, dark, in between. But every choice comes a consequence. And what separates you from others is that, with that choice, you can accept the consequences that come with this. And that's the difference between saying, yeah, I got game, versus being the truth in the game, or being the truth for what you're saying and how you're carrying it. This can't be, duplicated. You can't manufacture experience. What makes a man a man? Everybody has their own opinions. Everybody has their own interpretations. But what makes a man to me is someone that's not begging. What makes a man to me is someone that's just going to basically stand on, principle and not waver from it, and accepts what comes with it. You're not begging. You're not wavering. This is a life I chose. And I'm going to end up where I end up. I'm going to be where I'm supposed to be. A major part of the ism, with the metaphysical and with the belief in knowing that everything is, transcending. You're not really in control of your destiny. You can only become aware of your destiny. You can only become, in tune and inclined with it. It's life lessons indeed. This is what separates, the adults from the children. This is what, the coffee and donuts is versus the milk and cookies. This is what separates, those that second guess. Because second guessing is for amateurs. To me, I know my moves. As well as I know, my counterparts' moves. I know the things that's moving around me. I know my moves. I know my limitations. As well as I know their limitations. I speak in, parables, but, those that know, and those that will get it are meant to get it, The key thing is knowing what you signed up for and knowing what you say out of your mouth. You have to carry that out. And you have to be, accepting of what comes with that. You're not, you're not an adult. This thing is not in you. Because until it takes, root in you, becomes alive, then, essentially it's dead to you. For you, it's just Fashion Nova. For others, it's life or death. You hear that saying, is it on you or is it in you? Perceptive knowledge, perceptive awareness, situational awareness. Some people just sleep behind the wheel. Some people choose to sleep behind the wheel because they're tired of lying. I'm going to leave y'all with that. Blessings.